rise.
Hayaan niyo po mga kapatid na simulan ko ating pagninilay sa isang kwento na nabasa ko way back in college. Dito pala sa Christ the King, ng college kami, yung building nasa to my right. So I read this story 20 years ago sa isa pong libro. Hindi ko siya makakalimutan kahit matagal na because it made a huge impact to my life. Is a true story ng isang Japanese Catholic priest kung paano niya nakilala si Jesus sa buhay niya. And take note, he was not a Christian before. Siya po kasi isang Japanese soldier during World War II, 1940s. At alam niyo po, the most painful bullet sa isang Japanese soldier na buhay back in World War II, hindi po the real bullet, but when they received the news that the Japanese emperor surrendered on September 2, 1945. Noong panahon, when you disseminate an information, wala pa that time na internet, that time you can hear the news through radio o yung helicopter will throw pamphlets to mountains and then mababasa ng mga Japanese soldiers at nabasa nila nakalagay doon, leave your position, stop fighting, and surrender your arms, yung armas. Sabi niya, the moment he read the order from their officer, something died in him immediately. Kahit naglalakad daw siya sa kalsada, gumagalaw ang kanyang mga paa, katawan, pero sa loob niya patay na siya. Bakit pala? For two reasons. Kasi hindi niya matanggap na nag-surrender ang Japan. Kasi it's total against their pride and honor. For them, their honor is life for them. So when an honor is broken, as if life is broken. Pangalawa, malakas kasi ang kanilang loyal sa kanilang emperor. Kasi they look at their emperor like a god. So di nila ito kaya sikmurain. So kaya one time, he was so despairing, naglalakad siya sa kalsada, he really want to die, pero sa sobrang gutom, he collapsed. Pero doon sa building na yon, pagising niya, ang napasukan niya pala ay simbahang Katoliko. Inalagaan siya, ginamot, hindi siya trinato na kalaban, kundi kaibigan, and that's the start na kanyang journey. As sabi niya, the most important part of his journey is to discover who is really the true God, and that's Jesus. Kasi yung naging kanyang source ng despair, yung Japanese emperor, how come a God will surrender? Sabi niya kasi, a true God must not surrender. Tama nga. Because itong si Jesus never surrender on us. Though we are sinful, He will continue to be our rescuer. Yan po ang pahayag ng first reading at ng Salmo. God is the God of rescue. He rescued the poor. And being a God, itong Diyos na ating sinasampalatayaan, wala siyang pinipili kung sino kanyang iligtas. Walang lugar, walang klase ng tribu o ng tao. Kahit yung Japanese soldier, hindi man siya Kristiyano, but he was saved by the Lord. In short pala, ang pag-ibig ng Panginoong Diyos, His grace is for everyone. At lahat, all of us can turn to Him. Sabi nga po sa Salmo, I hope later on, you will read it again. Very beautiful ang Psalm ngayon. Sabi doon, I love you, Lord, you are my strength. Ikaw ang aking lakas. Pangalawa, sabi po Salmo, Lord, you are the rock of my refuge. Ikaw po ang sandalan, ang aking matatakbuhan. Sabi pa doon sa Psalm, the Lord is our shield. Di ba sa battle, kailangan may shield? Kasi that will protect you from the blows. Sabi pa sa Salmo, the Lord is your deliverer. Pag sinabing deliverer, to bring us out from a bad situation. And last, sabi po sa Salmo, the Lord is our fortress. Parang malakas na bakod para yung kalaban natin hindi kagad makapasok. And for the Japanese soldier who became Catholic priest, God showed Himself, Him saving power by leading him to enter the building, which is the Catholic Church. Tayo di po mga kapatid, perhaps, or in our own situation right now, in our own homes and condition, some of us we have our own experiences of being beaten and wounded by life. Pero maganda itong mga pagbasa ngayon because the readings for today is providing once again reasons to hope. Yan ang laging sinasabi ni Pope Benedict XVI. Dapat daw ang simbahan, the Bible, the church will always provide people reasons to hope. At ang mapagbasa ngayon is giving us reasons to hope and reasons to hold on to our faith. And it's good to be reminded kasi many times bilang tao nakakalimot tayo. It's good to be reminded that God alone is our strength, that He is the rock of our refuge, and He is our shield. Kaya po sana mamaya later din after ng misa, baka pwede nyo gustong buksan ang mga Bible niyo ulit, hanapin ang Salmo, Psalm chapter 18. Maganda itong basahin ulit, maganda isulat sa papel. Pakasulat sa papel, you can do two things. Idikit sa pader para the whole day and the coming weeks you can read it over and over again. Or yung papel, give to your children that they too can bless the name of the Lord, so that this will stick to our minds. At mamaya during the Holy Mass, sa pagtaas ng body and blood in Jesus, as we look at the body and blood, we can whisper in prayer, I love you, Lord, my strength, my rock of refuge and deliverer. Ngayon naman po, we go to the gospel. If you notice sa gospel, yung mga tao nagpulot sila ng bato. Nagpulot ng bato. At itong batong ito, gusto nilang batuhin si Jesus. For me, I would like to see this scenario in other way. Many times kasi, when we are disappointed with God, and when our prayers are not answered, we too would like also to pumulot ng bato and throw something to God. Like the experience of Elie Wiesel. Nabasa ko lang yung kanyang libro this week, a very thin book. You can read it in half day. Ang title ay The Night. It was published 1956. Si Elie Wiesel kasi, survival po siya ng Nazi concentration camp sa Auschwitz sa Poland. 15 years old lang siya. Namatay yung kanyang tatay doon. Then yung nanay niya pa and 3 sisters were killed in the extermination camp. Kaya at ito pang si Elie Wiesel, bata pa lang siya, yung tatay niya being a Jew, Hudyo, prepare na siya maging tinatawag na yung religious devout, trained in the Bible. Kaya sabi niya, in the concentration camp, he was so confused na he came to this conclusion, I still believe in God, that He exists, but for me, he does not anymore believe na God is the God of justice after seeing the sorrow of his fellow men. Kaya minsan din ganoon din sa buhay natin when we experience so much trouble. Minsan we want to throw something to God. We complain. We throw our groaning. We question Him. It's okay for the Catholic Church. But one thing we should not do, to curse God. Never curse God. Yan po ang ginawa ni Job. He complained in his suffering. He groaned. Naghimutok din siya. He even questioned God, but he never came to the point of cursing God. Yung hindi sumpay ng Diyos o magsalita ng masama. That's why At the end, he was blessed by the Lord after his suffering. Asana din, we should not throw our faith. So first, we should not throw curse to God. Pangalawa, in the middle of suffering, do not throw away our faith from Jesus. Especially when we are discouraged and facing problems, or when our prayers are not answered according to the time we expect it to happen. Instead of throwing stone to Jesus, the invitation to us is to, in the middle of the problem, we throw ourselves to God all the more. We throw ourselves. Naalala ko yung may mga alagang aso, natutuwa ako pag pupunta ka sa mga park ngayon sa Manila o sa mga mall, pwede magdala ng aso na eh. Pag tinatawag na ng may-ari, yung aso will jump to the owner, will jump. O nakita ng mga baby, mga 2-year-old, pag tinatawag ng tatay o nanay, yung baby tatakbo and jump himself to the father. A beautiful experience to see. Gawin din po ang tawag sa atin, instead of throwing away our faith in the middle of problem or throwing bad words to God, we throw ourselves because He is our rescuer. Pero minsan, we don't want to throw ourselves. Ang Diyos na mismo will throw us to Himself. Gaya na nangyari po doon sa buhay ng Japanese soldier. God can do impossible things to throw us to Himself. But at the end, whatever happens to us, continue to bless the name of the Lord. And I would like to leave you yung eulogy po ng tatay, yung tatay ni John Catherine C. Di ba siya yung apo ni Henry C. who died March 18? Gusto ko basahan kayo na kanyang short clip na kanyang eulogy sa kanyang anak. Sayang, ito palang si John Catherine C. ikakasal na sana ng April 9. But she got sick. Sabi na kanyang tatay, bago daw i-intubate si John Catherine, nabigyan siya ng pagkataon ng Diyos na makausap siya sa huling sandali. And John Catherine said she was ready to meet Jesus. And John Catherine gave them, the family, a double thumbs up. Sabi ni John Catherine, pointing to the sky, with Jesus. Pero along the eulogy ni Henry C. Jr., sabi niya, I still cannot understand why the Lord took her home at this point in her young life. But sabi ni Henry C. Jr., but for these past days, God sent me a message to trust Him with all my heart and not to lean on my own understanding, but in everything and all my ways to acknowledge Him. And he closed his eulogy with these words, He gives, He takes. My heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. Job chapter 1, verse 21. God bless everyone.